Well, hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to Average Joel's Garage. I'm in the backseat of a car, one of my favorite places formerly in life, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about speakers. And in order to swap these out in the 99 Corolla, you got to do some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to do the speaker swap. And I've never done this before, so we're going to learn together. So stay tuned. We're going to do these Pioneer 6.5-inch speakers. You can tell like on the back the magnets aren't very big, so these are not huge amazing speakers. They were like 40 or 50 bucks. When I was a kid we used to use a lot better speakers, but this is going on my kid's car, and anything is usually a better upgrade than the garbage factory ones, which are like 10 watts or something. I mean, they're just junk. So let me switch the camera and show you what we're looking at. All right, so here's one speaker and here's two speaker. We're gonna swap these out, and it looks like there's actually more work than I thought. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna back up, and I'm gonna show you guys, we need to take the seat belt, loosen that out, and this back seat belt here too. So let's go around to the inside of the car and the trunk and pull this tab, and that then needs to kick this forward. So that is how we would normally do that, but I need another hand to do that. Let's see if I can do it with my foot. Pull the tab and then push my foot. Okay, good. Let's go around now. Loosen those up. So let's see what we got here. We're going to bring this down. Now, of course, this environment is not going to work very well because those stupid seatbelts are in our way. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of those. Well, not permanently, but the first thing is take this one and unhook it and let it go to the side. And then this other one, the reason why that exists, oops, it clicked already, is take a screwdriver, stick it right here, and that breaks that loose, and then he goes up in the la la land, and now we can pull this down. And it's funny, see how this is not flat? This is like a form of like birth control, because you can't lay back here very easily. The Honda Civics probably led to a lot more pregnancies because those ones laid flat. So here's what we got. This guy has got to come up. I already prided him a little bit. He broke, isn't that awesome? So I have to get another one of those. Here's the other one. Best way to do this is go underneath. So let's climb underneath and see what we can find. Okay. So right here is the guy we're looking for. So you're going to take your screwdriver or hammer and shove him basically through. There we go. So he popped out. This is what he looks like. So set that in your trunk. We're going to go to the other side. Over here. Same thing. We're going to get this and push this through. It's kind of sharp. So you could use like your flathead to poke it through. And it just flew off somewhere over here. Great, it's gone. That's the broken one. Oh, hold on, mate. Did I find it? It's right there. Different one. Okay, so now let's go back in. All right, now we're cooking. So we're back inside. That loosened here, that loosened here. So now this wiggles. This is what we want. So we're gonna kind of, I think there's little clips underneath. You can kind of see down there, maybe-ish. So you stick your hand and you pop that up. Stick your hand, pop that up. Okay? And then you kind of just pry that, and it just kind of comes out. Right here, pry. Be careful, do careful. You don't want to bend this classic stuff. So I'm gonna get my other apparatus, but see it right here? That's basically what we're after. We're not gonna take this too far. I might shove a screwdriver just to give me some clearance. That's really what we're after, is that speaker. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like a piece of paper. What a piece of crap. Well, that's definitely a good reason to upgrade. That looks terrible. And there's the other one, another piece of paper. So we are definitely not jamming out today, but we will be. So let me go get my stand and I'll return. All right, hopefully you guys can see me. I'm trying to get this stand perfectly where it needs to be. Okay. So here we are. We're gonna look this up. I need, looks like my favorite 10mm is it's that bolt right there. And I think this whole, oh, that's cool. Thing comes out. So Ugh. All right, so what I normally would have done is try to pry these guys out, and I didn't because I was trying to use my better judgment and not destroying something. So we get a nice good look underneath here, see what we're dealing with. Okay, pretty standard stuff. So we'll get ourselves a 10 millimeter socket, swap that out. You guys see the plug right here? Let me see if I can. Okay, see? We'll get a 10 millimeter on that guy, so I will be right back. Oof. I gotta climb back in here, pause it. Make sure you guys can see. I think I can. All right. Let's find out what size this actually is. If you don't have this, get all your sockets on one of these, so that way you can see exactly what you're dealing with. And as I suspected, it's a 10 millimeter. I'm gonna use a little stubby ratchet, because that seems like a better go in this situation. Now, because we have a bracket in here, I may see if I can reuse this bracket so I can make this look as factory as possible. So I'm loosening the only bolt that I see so far. That'd be really cool if it was just this one. So I tried to pry at these underneath, and that's when I was like, you know the rule, if it doesn't give, then it probably is not going to. Okay. And there you guys have our speaker. Wow, so cool. Let's disconnect the clip by pinching this white piece here, if you can see it. If not, you pinch the white and you pull it across. See if I can get that out. Can't even see it. I always love working in confined spaces. Okay, so if you can't see, there's this little white piece here. You push this down and it pulls out the speaker. So I don't think the new speaker is just going to perfectly fit in there the way we want. So let's see. Not very well. So let's see if we can take apart this really cool housing and get the speaker out of it and put this housing on this new speaker. That might work. So let me go get. I need a regular screwdriver, or Phillips screwdriver. Let me get one. You know, it always amazes me that they had such crappy speakers in the 90s. I mean, they must have not had very high regard for us music folks, or just people in general, because this is kind of, I mean, guys, this is a piece of paper. That's all that is. Now, if you know anything about sound systems and sound, which I'm a novice at best, but I can tell you that you can take a styrofoam cup and make it produce, turn into a kind of a ghetto amplified speaker kind of thing if you need to, but it ain't gonna sound very good. So I don't know. The new cars, you really don't have to do this. They come with decent speakers. So these are, what are we dealing with here? 200 watt max, and I think these are these are 6 ohm. Ooh, these speakers I bought I think are 4 ohm, so we may have an ohm imbalance, which is something I'm going to have to consider. But I'm replacing the deck as well, so I'll have to do a little bit of math on that and figure out if that really matters or not. Ohms are something that... Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. So it just kind of separates. There's our speaker, laid in like that. So let's take this speaker, lay it in like that. And there are these nice holes that line up perfectly. You guys see those holes? So we will put our screws that we just took out back in there. I apologize for being so sweaty, but you never want to do this stuff in the winter, I guess. So I always end up doing it in the summer. Come on, buddy. You can hold the speaker gently like this. It's not going to hurt anything. I mean, if you think about it, when you're running some good music through, it's going to be shaking this thing pretty hard. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to hold it very well, but we're going to see what we can do. The holes line up, that's for sure. One of my neighbors is mowing their lawn. It's pretty loud for an electric mower. Okay, that's holding, that's good. So let's do the other floor, or the other two. I should have got my power screwdriver right now. Someone's probably thinking that. Because you don't know where to put the other screw, put it in your mouth. You won't forget it's there. And last one here. Oh, our holes did not all the way perfectly line up. There we go. Talk about an upgrade. We're going from pieces of paper to actually like decent sound. So funny. I was listening to this the other day. I was like, you know what? I'm getting older, but this sounds kind of crappy, bro. It's definitely not age. It's just, these are really ghetto. Okay, so you want to kind of shake it and make sure everything seems good. This little piece is wrapped around here. It really doesn't make much of a difference. But I'm gonna look at the back. This is where the connections go. If you didn't know this, there's a you guys see what this is? So they soldered this on here and here. So what that means, I'm gonna keep this, but I'm gonna replace this piece here. So let me go get some electrical tools and let's get that rolling. All right, we're back. I got this part came with those speakers, which is pretty cool. The new speakers there's just these tails, and you have obviously the skinny one goes on the skinny side, like so. What sucks is my other ones didn't come with one of these, so I'm gonna have to figure that out for the fronts. Problem for a different day. Pull this more, you need more room than that. But then you put this spade on here. The big one goes on the big one, the small one goes on the small one. Now, if you really want to be cool, and I do, I'm gonna hit this with a torch a little bit, just on this edge to shrink tubing. So this torch is really cool because if you obviously if you hold it down, you're gonna burn some stuff. But if you just do the edge, we can get that to adhere on. Now this is not gonna wiggle or come off. You can also push and kind of crimp on these too, but they should hold themselves. But this shrink tubing just holds a little bit more. No holes, everything's good, so don't worry. I know some people are like, what the heck is he doing? It's okay. So now, I got this tail here. So we're gonna set this up here. Spread these two together. I don't know what gauge this is. It feels like 22, but it's, something small. Okay, so let's go with, oh, maybe it's, well, let's go with the gauge and see what, so let's go, this is 16. Okay, first try, so that's 16 on that one. On that one, so I got a little bit sticking out here. It's probably, what do we need? Probably not enough, because we're going to actually cut those wires from here. So ready? Goodbye and goodbye. So this guy's done. I want this connector. And I hate when people twist all this stuff up. Like, twisted wire is not good because you can damage the internals, but either way, let's cut this so it's even. Okay, now this looks like it's a little bigger. So this is a 14 gauge wire, looks like. And 14 gauge wire. So what we can do is we can twist this. You know what you can do is you can solder this. You can also crimp it. We're gonna just see if I have a crimp size that I can crimp these down together. I used to do this as a kid so much. It's so funny. This is polarity, so you really want one side to be like negative and positive. So black is usually the negative, so we're gonna go black on this one. And then we're gonna see if I'm right, because if I'm wrong, then I'm gonna switch it. But so that's 16. Right? So just twist them, and then I'm gonna go get a piece. You if you really were like, I'm awesome, then just take this, and where did I just do with this here? You can, we used to, when I was at school, we used to twist these together, and then we'd actually solder them, wrap around that, but we're gonna stick these here, and then we're gonna actually put I'm just gonna crimp them, that should work. So let me go get something to crimp. Oh, it's still recording, I think. Sorry, guys. I'll have to cut that out. So, I got one of these. This simply goes into one side, like so. And then you crimp it with one of these. And there's crimpers on the tip. 22 to 18 gauge, which is I think what we're dealing with here. So you put it right here. You bite down hard. And then that should crimp it. Now, here's what I'm going to do just for fun. I'm going to put some of this Harbor Freight heat shrink. So, I'm going to use my cool little torch to... Now, obviously you can't connect this and put heat shrink on there. That won't work. So, we're going to do one side and find if we have any of this, the smallest, tiniest. Oh, there's some little ones. That's cool. So, let's see if that works. We're gonna put the shrink tube over it. About that much here. Should probably good. I want it to go over about that much. See? So we'll just cut it off with this cool handy dandy knife part. Now, where's the other part of the cable? Here. So we're doing the white one, which on this side is the red one. So we'll put some of this heat shrink tube on this side. That in there really good. Crimp this guy now. Someone's probably like, man, this is a lot of work. Just sell your car. That is not what this channel is about. We're just about making sure that we can do this the right way. So I don't want this to come loose. So I'm gonna use heat shrink. See if I can hit this with a little bit of that torch and see if it'll shrink down. So let's see. See how it's loose? Your next question is, where'd you get that cool torch? The answer is Amazon. Doesn't smell the best, so I'm probably killing myself with cancer. But this shrunk down pretty good over here. This shrunk here well, but this didn't shrink as good as I wanted. See this? It's got a little meh. So I've never used this stuff before. Maybe I need a little tighter because now it feels like if I do this here, let's see, it wants to burn it. See? So. Yeah, it's just getting soft. So it shrinks a little bit, not much. So, and then of course there's a little burn score mark, but that shouldn't be a problem. So, let's get another piece. Let's see if they have a small one on the kit of Harbor Freight. I'd say we should try these, but this is, let me see. And it's not really going to do what we want. So we'll use this one. All right, so we're going to use another same tube just to follow with the, and if this stuff fails, then we'll say, thanks Harbor Freight. Okay, so we'll start on this side. Run this through. Find my red piece. Make sure this is nice and twisted. Twist it on. There we go. Now we're going to crimp it. Not going anywhere. This one here goes inside as well. That's what I was worried about. That one came right out. Bummer. If that ever happens, you can try to stick it back inside the hole. Sometimes you can be successful. Sometimes you have to get a new one of these crimper or crimps. Alright, well, let's open this up a little bit so we have a little bit more of a mouth on that. Undo the crimp just a little bit. This is not a ideal situation. You could solder this too if you'd like, but you want to just get this inside here. There we go. Surprised it actually bit as well as it did. Give it a little bit of tug. Don't yank on it, but a little tug. Now let's put a heat shrink over that. Find a little torch. You can use a heat gun too, but like I said, I like this. This torch is pretty cool. Ow, 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 ow. Give it a little squeeze. Why not? Now, all of that effort for plugging this back into this little white connector here. And before we put it all back together, it's probably going to need to get the keys and actually play some music through this. So let's check and see if we got sound. I'd have sound, but is it coming from the right speaker? I could stand here. Okay. That sounds so much better. Wow. Watch. See, there's like bass. Sounds good. Now watch this. Like you don't hear the. I mean. We're playing music out of a napkin. I mean, come on. Alright, so we see that we have music. So now we have to take this, push this down a little bit, and slide this speaker. There's black little clips. You line those up, and then you're going to drop those in the little hooks in the back. There we go. Lay it flat and just push it in. Easier that way. Make sure these wires are not pinched, because that's not good, right? So there's movement here, so that's good. So now I'm gonna bend these gently down here. I'm gonna set these here, and then run this underneath this little black area right there. And we're done, guys. That's all we gotta do. So, as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks, and we'll see you guys later on the channel.